You are trying to sleep, your body's in bed, the lights are off, nothing is happening around you, but your mind has already left the bedroom. It is sitting inside a conversation from 7 hours ago, rewording something you said. Then it jumps forward to tomorrow, to a problem you cannot solve right now. Then it lands somewhere deeper, a feeling. You did not have time to feel today. You did not choose to go to these places, but your mind went anyway, and it will not stop moving. So, where does your mind actually go when you cannot sleep? It turns out your mind does not just stay awake, it travels and it visits the same places in almost the same order, night after night. Understanding those places may change how you experience those hours in the dark. The first place your mind goes is backward, not far, not to childhood, usually just a few hours ago. A conversation, something someone said that landed wrong, a moment of uncertainty where you even understood, a sentence you wish you could take back and try again. Your mind does not just remember it, it reopens it. It edits your lines. It rewrites their response. It runs the scene again and again, looking for the version where everything comes out right. You are not choosing this, but your mind keeps returning to that room, to that person, to that moment, like it is stuck at a door it cannot close. Why? Because your brain treats unresolved social tension the same way it treats an unfinished task. It keeps pulling you back, not because you are obsessive, but because something emotional was left open, and open signals. Stay active. During the day, you moved on, but your mind did not. Now, in the silence, it finally has the space to go back. But your mind does not stay there long before that thought is finished. It is already moving to the next place. The second place is forward, not the distant future, tomorrow, the next 14 hours. What needs to happen? What could go wrong? What you are forgetting? Your mind starts building tomorrow before it exists, simulating conversations, rehearsing problems, preparing answers for questions no one has asked yet. And here's what makes it worse. At night, your brain loses a vital ability. It cannot tell the difference between a small concern and a serious threat, a work email, and a real emergency. They carry the exact same weight in the dark. So your mind keeps preparing, keeps solving, keeps running scenarios. Not because danger's waiting, but because your brain lacks enough information to feel certain that nothing is wrong. And at night, uncertainty feels like a door left unlocked. But even this is not the deepest place. There is one more destination, and it is the one most people do not expect. The third place is not a thought, it is a feeling, and something you did not let yourself feel during the day. Maybe you were too busy, maybe the timing was wrong, maybe it was just easier to keep moving. A frustration you swallowed during a meeting, a sadness that showed up between tasks but had no room to stay, a tension that lived in your body all day without ever becoming a conscious thought. While you were awake, there was always something louder to focus on: work, noise, screens, other people. But now, the day is over. The distractions are gone, and the only thing left in the room is you. You and the feeling you outran for 16 hours. It does not arrive with a name. It just sits somewhere in your chest, or your throat, or behind your eyes. Heavy, but impossible to explain. Your mind is not creating this. It is finally arriving at the one place it could not visit, while you were busy performing your day. And this is where most people get trapped, because what happens next turns a bad night into a pattern. Your mind discovers a new destination itself. You notice you're still awake, and that awareness becomes the loudest place of all. You check the time. You calculate how many hours are left. You picture how tomorrow will feel on 4 hours of sleep, on three, on two. And now, every place your mind visited before it gets buried, the conversation, the worry, the unnamed feeling, they disappear under something heavier, the fear of being awake itself. Your mind starts circling the one thought it cannot escape. I need to sleep. Why am I not sleeping? What is wrong with me? Sleep becomes a test you are failing in real time. And the harder you try, the more awake you become. This is the destination no one talks about. Not the thoughts, not the feelings. The moment your mind turns the fact of being awake into its own emergency. And that is where most people get stuck for hours. Subscribe to Brain Signals. This is where we break down the hidden patterns your brain sends before you know how to name them. When this cycle repeats, night after night, something begins to shift, not all at once. Not in any obvious way, but slowly. The days start to feel heavier. Small frustrations feel sharper. The space between a calm reaction and an emotional outburst gets thinner. Some people describe it as a fog, not confusion. Something more like watching your own life through a layer of glass. It is still there, but you cannot quite reach it. Here's a simplified way to look at it. Sleep is not just rest for the body. It is a window. The only window where your brain processes emotional weight. When that window is cut short, the weight does not disappear. It carries forward, night after night, layer over layer, until the fog becomes your new normal. But maybe that reframes what those nights actually are. Most people who cannot sleep believe their mind is the enemy. They think it is broken. They think it is doing something wrong. But look at where it actually goes. It goes to unresolved conversations because something emotional stayed open. It goes to tomorrow because your brain is trying to create safety through preparation. It goes to feelings pushed aside because there was no other quiet moment in your day. And it goes to the fear of being awake because it learned to treat sleeplessness as a threat. Your mind is not malfunctioning at night. It is simply going to every place it was not allowed to visit during the day. Where does your mind go first? Back to conversations? Forward to tomorrow? Or somewhere you cannot name? So tell me in the comments. So tonight, if your mind starts traveling again, maybe do not ask how to make it stop. Ask where it is trying to go. Because sometimes the places your mind visits in the dark are not distractions from sleep. They are the destinations your brain has been carrying all day, waiting for the only moment quiet enough to finally arrive.